Welcome back. We are talking about how to break into human resources today. How to break into HR. This is a question that I get asked quite often. So I'm here to answer those questions on today as far as letting you know the steps that I took and the steps that you could take as well on how to break into HR. Let's go. So first things first, breaking into any new field is not something that is going to happen overnight. But if you want to set up yourself for success, you will need to take these steps similar, steps in general, again, because it's not an overnight thing. Nobody that you see out here is an overnight success. I need y'all to get that through your heads from the beginning. These are the steps you need to take, though. The first thing is you need to get a college degree. Yes, I said it simply because it is not 1962 anymore. It's not 1974. Things are a bit different. Used to be a time HR was called just employee personnel, and they had a lot of different people in there without any degrees. They did what they could back in the day, okay? But now, that is one of the things that you have to put on your to-do list when wanting to get into HR. Now, the type of degree that you can get that will allow you to break into HR is as follows. You can get a psychology degree. You can get a leadership degree. You can get an HR and management degree. You can get a management degree, business administration degree. You can get those degrees are good starting points to get you into HR. The second thing that you want to do is get an internship. An internship is something that a lot of people still get to this day to break into their field. Number one, it's going to get you some additional knowledge outside of your regular coursework onto what happens in the day-to-day of this, what happens in the day-to-day of HR, okay? The other thing that the internship does, it gets you a possible opportunity to make connections and to possibly get an entry-level job from it. So an internship is something that is very vital when it comes down to setting yourself up to break into HR. The third thing that an internship can do is help you along with your college journey, because you could get an internship and use it as credits. But for the purposes of breaking into HR, that internship is going to get you that crucial kind of entry level bottom experience that you need to sell yourself when it comes time to get you an entry-level job. Now, internships sometimes range from a year, sometimes they're 3 months, sometimes they're 6 months. It all depends. But I would suggest an internship anywhere between 3 to 6 months to get your feet wet. Another opportunity that is very similar to an internship, which sometimes they call them internships, is a work-study job when you're on campus. If you get a work-study job, or when you're in college, if you get a work-study job, try to be intentional about where you get it. If you're trying to break into HR, maybe get you a work-study job, if you can, in the HR department. Go in the HR department. Ask questions. When you're a student, you can go into the HR department of your university and ask those questions, okay? So work-study jobs are available for you to get your feet in the door, get your feet wet, things like that. Now, I will say, when I worked in the HR department at a university, I saw at least 3 or 4 different student workers who were just regular work-study students pick up a job in the HR department after they graduated there. And I was only there about 5-6 years. So every year there was a new student who had been working as a work-study job who got a job there. So don't sell yourself short. This is a good way to seal the deal into getting into HR. So another way you could break into HR is kind of in a manner in which I had to do. Now, this could be someone who is not in college at the very present time, but you have had some coursework in the past that is related to human resources. You might have taken leadership class, you might have taken management, you might have taken compensation, or you are not done, or you maybe are the person who went back to school as an adult. Whatever it may be, there are opportunities for you to break into HR. So what I would advise, this step, is to emphasize your coursework and your credit hours on your resume. So I say this because I know that this is what 1,000% sealed the deal for me when I broke into HR. Now, I'll get to my story at some point, but I had an internship way back in the day. And when I had my internship in HR, I had a long gap between that internship and when I first got my HR job. So I didn't graduate from college on time. So because of that, it caused a delay. So what I did was I emphasized my coursework on my resume. I put down that I obtained 98 credit hours towards my degree, and I also put down the various courses that I took that was related to HR. And then you know what? Next thing I know, I got my HR job. That was my first HR job outside of my internship. This is why I stress putting your coursework down, putting your credit hours down, selling yourself as much as you can on your resume so that once it gets pulled, then you can do your next job, which is to sell yourself on that interview. And then something that you often hear, you want to network, network, network. Always be networking is like what I like to say, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to meet at whatever jobs you're at, whichever volunteer opportunities you're at, whatever churches you're at, whatever. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're in front of. So you want to network to make relationships, to make, you just never know what you can come up with when you're networking with people. You never know what people have in common. Okay, so always be building up your network. It's never going away, guys. The whole saying is not what you know, but it's who you know. It's been here from the beginning of time, and it's probably going to be here to the end of time. And here's an example of a networking situation. So when I had my first HR job, I met a girl there who was like, I loved her. She was cool. She had HR experience, but she only worked in HR just a few months. And when I got my job at the university, I will say I was a star player. At least that's what I like to say. I felt like I made a good impression on the team and everything. So a few years passed. Here it is, the networking piece. We had a job opening. She had been in contact with me, and I specifically went to my VP and referred her to the job. She got that HR job and has been in HR ever since. So, because before it was difficult for her to get the HR job. So I say that to say, you know, the whole network, you never know. She had only worked in that previous job a couple of months before the business closed. So she really didn't have a solid HR experience like she wanted. But meeting me making a good impression with the VP, them trusting my referral, pulled her in. She's been in HR ever since, making good money now. We the best of friends. So I'm telling y'all, network, don't be afraid. Get your confidence up. Get that networking kind of in you, because it's how you're going to get further in life. Now, if this helped you, drop me a comment below letting me know that this was some good information and you want more videos like this, or just let me know what kind of videos you want in the comments below. See you next time.